This is episode 1041, and we're here live in Southwest Florida in my garden studio. I guess that's what I'll call it. If you are joining me live, please say hello. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I will wait a few seconds for people to pop over from pre-chat and notifications. Hi Cindy, hi Steffi, hi Karen, hi Irene. Good morning. Hi Grace and Lisa. Good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. Hi Thea and Melanie, Val, Julie, Marcia. Hi Judy and Kathy, Judy, Jane, Kat, Thea, Tina, Barbara, Martina, Christine. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Happy Monday. Welcome back. This is the 1041 episode of the Kristin Omdahl Show. Hi Lily and Doris and Carrie. Good morning. Hi Kathy. Good morning, everybody. Hi Steffi. Hi Patricia. Hi Cherie. Good morning, everybody. Hi Carrie. Thanks, Karen. Hi Judy and Geraldine. Hi Diane. Hi Pamela. Hi Claudia. Good morning. Hi Nancy. Hi Nora Sue and Debbie. Thank you. Good to be back. Hi Gail and Kimberly. Thanks Claudia. Thanks Thea. Thanks Doris. Yes, I have a new pattern. This is the Isabella poncho, and when you go to the pattern page you will see that it says poncho or shawl, and I'm so excited to show you that right there is the same exact pattern. Can you believe it? Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I will, if everybody has questions, I realize I've been gone for a while because I had to make some huge life changes. So if you have questions, I am willing to answer if it makes sense here. But I will be doing an update, like an update article on my blog or news section of my website eventually as well. But let's talk about the yarn first, because this is really exciting. So, well, first of all, here's the poncho. And so the poncho starts with a shawl. If you can see this here, it's a top-down triangle piece, and then once you have the triangle the size you want, then you do decreased triangles on each side to create a rectangle. The pattern explains it. There's schematics and charts and all that stuff, and so you end up making a front and back of the same thing and join it together. But because it starts with a top-down triangle, I wanted to make sure that you understood that you can use it and just make a shawl as well. And I thought it was another great way to show you different ways to do stash busters, because I know a lot of times people just throw colors together willy-nilly when they're doing stash busting. And just like I talk about all the time when we talk about color, is that if you're mixing and matching colors, Mother Nature is one of the greatest color inspirations out there. And what does she mix and match colors with? Green. She uses green leaves as the neutral where all of the flowers pop. So I went through my stash and found little bits of pinks and purples. Each one of them is a partial ball of different pinks and purples, and I tied it all together with green as the base. So there is a solid double crochet row in between 3 rows of the stitch pattern, which makes it a 4-row repeat pattern. And so I just kept that 4th row in the green and did all of the rest of the stitch work in whatever color. So you can see that's actually a stash buster, right? I know stash busters don't always look that intentional, but I wanted to point out that this is what you can do with stash busters. And we're going to talk more about stash busters in time, but I thought that this was an excellent example of not only extracting a pattern from a pattern. Because this starts out with a top-down triangle, there's no reason why you can't just do that and skip the poncho, or maybe both, right? It's great to have options. So this is part of this pattern. If you just do the triangle, and so even though I'm showing it here in lots of colors, this is what that stitch pattern looks in a solid color. So make it in a color that you like, and this could be a solid color shawl too. So lots and lots of options, whether you want to mix and match colors, do a stash buster to get rid of old things, or put things together brand new, or do a garment like this. And again, with a poncho like this, you could easily belt it too and make it look more like a fitted top. You could belt through here, belt through there, and look at how much more fitted that looks. It looks like a top with sleeves then. So whether you crocheted a belt in the yarn or wore a stretchy belt from your closet, and you'll see in the photos that I share on the pattern page, I share photos where I wear this over a bathing suit and shorts, and I show where I wear it over a dress and belt it so that it looks like a top over it as well. So lots of variations for styling, lots of variations for making. I'll put this back up so you can see it on the wall. All right, does anybody have any questions? Are you surprised that that's the same pattern as this? Was it hard to see that until I described how they're the same? Was it a surprise, or was that obvious? I'm kind of curious. Hi, Lewis. Thanks, Suzanne. Hi, Angela. Yes, a surprise. Okay, good. Well, then that makes it a really great teachable moment then too. Thank you, Thea. Yeah, I'm still, I'm still going through, still transitioning. It's still such a humongous transition that I've been through in the last 3 months, and still got a little longer to go, but I am officially out of the house. I am officially, I'm officially without a house key, which is kind of wild. I have 2 sets of car keys and a shed key and a storage unit key, but I don't have a house key anymore, and that's one of the things that was kind of, there's a lot of surprising moments when you're trying to transition to something that's much different than anything you've ever done before. It's the little things that kind of, surprise you sometimes. Anyway, yes, I did set up a space back here behind the shed in my driveway. I am renting a driveway space in an RV park so that I have a place to park the RV and plug it in to electricity, water, and internet. And until I get settled and get used to what I'm doing here and can afford it, to be honest with you, I don't plan on traveling anytime soon until I get my get my bearings and get my business back in a stable place. So I figured it made sense to set up a space back here for doing videos and things. And I actually did not spend very much money, and I'm very close to my mom. I'm less than a mile away from where my mom stays, or where my mom lives. And what else? And I didn't spend very much money, and I bought most of the items on the deck. A lot of the stuff came from my house, and the rest I bought at Home Depot or Amazon. What else? Yeah, I didn't spend much money, so if you want, I can take you on a tour of the space back here. Thanks, Jill. Yeah, it is great that I'm close to my mom. Yes. And Bjorn is staying with my mom. He's not doing well. He's not feeling well, and he's much more comfortable in a peaceful home. And I still have to travel this week I'm traveling in a week to Indiana, so I would just as soon let him stay where he's comfortable until I get back from Indiana, and then I will work on that facet of our transition. Anyway, so let's, so I'll turn the camera around for a second, and you can see this is my driveway. Okay, so there's the RV and my car. That's the neighborhood, I guess. So at the end of my driveway is this shed where I'm storing work supplies and some kitchens types of stuff, cleaning supplies, and you know, various things that I'm going to use more often than I would use in storage. So first thing I built was I had these buckets already. They're from Home Depot, but I had them already from various projects at the old place. And so I bought some cement, filled them halfway up cement to secure 2x4s in them so that they would be wind resistant. They're very heavy. Then I added some rocks on top of that to aerate before putting in potting soil and little plants. And then I added this beautiful two-way ivy trellis, which is not real. I got this on Amazon, and it's beautiful on both sides. I did it because I wanted some privacy back here because I was going to be doing videos. In a neighborhood like this, you have no privacy. See, my neighbors are like 5 feet away, and I felt like in order to be able to do videos back here, I needed some sort of privacy from neighbors. So you can see there is a prickly pear plant here that was already here before I got here. And here are some of my plants that have survived the trip. Not all my plants have survived, and I really don't think they're all going to survive here either. Oh, here's the plants that I bought for the buckets. Some of my orchids, I'm not sure if they're going to make it or not. This one's exciting. This is an avocado that I grew from an actual avocado seed. So I've got my avocado here. Then my orchids are, I don't know if they're going to make it, but I'm still trying to work on them. And my cactuses, my chicks and hen, and then over here's my spider plant. I had to cut all the babies off to move it, and the babies are starting to come back, so that's good. My ivy, 2 more buckets with 1 more partition wall that I got on Amazon, and that's for a little more privacy from the neighbors. And then this wooden arbor here was here, and I went to Home Depot and bought these 2 lattice walls. Well, Karen, I don't have a lanai, so I don't have a choice, and I have no shade. So my orchids are out here, and if they don't make it, they don't make it, but this is all the space I have. So I just have to accept the reality of my situation. Okay, so here is a mandevilla plant, which is a very interesting plant. It's a fast-growing vining plant that has beautiful flowers on it. And I found this one with these beautiful pink flowers with white. They have a yellow center and white stripes in the pink. And so I attached the lattice to this arbor so that these plants will grow up and be like just a beautiful garden wall. And you can see I've already got some of the vines. I've been guiding them up, and as it grows, I'm going to keep guiding them up. Isn't that going to be amazing? It'll be a wonderful photo spot, as well as more privacy. I'm just looking for a little bit of privacy. I'm not used to being so close to neighbors, and to be honest with you, it's uncomfortable to me. I've never lived so close to people like this without my own space, and I'm honestly a little uncomfortable, and it's just the reality. I'm having to transition so many things all at the same time that building up this little bit of privacy gave me a good space for videos and for photos. And I know, Steffi, I saw this, and it was the very most unusual mandevilla I'd ever seen, so I had to get it. Yes, Donna, exactly. I'm doing the best I can. Am I making everybody happy? Absolutely not. I get lots of unkind comments, and I don't even think everybody means to be unkind. I think my situation makes a lot of people uncomfortable, and when people are uncomfortable, they, they say not the nicest things to people. So I'm really starting to see that and understand it, and trying not to take it personally, but it is difficult. And just making my way through. I love my space too. Now it's not covered, so this morning it was very wet out here, and I'm not used to having to dry everything off before sitting down and doing this, so I'm even learning as I go right now. So it is what it is. And yeah, I don't know if my orchids are going to make it. Some of them will. The hanging ones are supposed to be in all sun. They grow in the wild somewhere. So I'm just going to do the best I can, and if they don't make it, then they aren't meant for this space and they aren't meant for this chapter of my life. Some of my plants are, like that beautiful vining plant, it's meant for full sun. So if I have to say goodbye to my orchids, then it just goes on the long list of things I've had to say goodbye to in the last 3 months. I've had to let go of and say goodbye to a lot of things that meant a lot to me. And, you know, we all do. When we have to say goodbye to things, sometimes it's not when we wanted to, right? It's just the way it is. It's okay, Karen. It's an opportunity to discuss it because it is hard. It is hard. Thanks, Jill. Yeah, I'm giving my orchids a lot of love. And I have to tell you, do you want to see something? Even though the leaves look horrible, the leaves look like they're dying, right? The leaves look bad. But look at this. There's buds on this one. There's buds on that one. There's even buds. Were there buds on this one? But this one has roots growing straight out. This one has buds. Like, even though they don't look great, they're still growing buds and they're still growing. So I do have hope for them. I have hope for them. But again, if they don't want to be here, it's okay. What I am going to continue working on in the garden is planting things from food scraps. So I've got my avocado pit growing into a tree here. Yes, it's going to take a really long time to have avocados, but that's okay. I'm going to grow it into a beautiful tree, and hopefully in 10 years I'll still be around to enjoy the fruit off of it. Thank you, Debbie. I tried to make this homey while still on a very tight budget. Honestly, those lattice screens that I put up there, they were only $26. Like, that's amazing, isn't it? I thought for $26 and a couple of nails and a couple of $20 plants that will grow onto it, that seemed like a bargain to give me something really beautiful that's appropriate for the space and the amount of light that it'll get, and for privacy. So again, I'm trying to do all of this on an extremely tight budget, and I think I did so far. I think I did pretty good. And I'm done. I'm not going to do anything else back here. I need to focus on growing my business and all that good stuff. So that's it. Next up, I will be setting up my outdoor kitchen, which I will take in and out every day, and doing some cooking videos out there. And I'm excited to show you some cooking videos while from here. I'm excited to start cooking again, for that matter. Thank you, Sabrina. Thanks, Cherie. Thanks, Mickey. Yeah, and I'm glad that I got to bring a lot of stuff from home, like these plant stands I was able to bring from home. My fire pit, look at my fire pit is still here. I have a sad story to tell you about my barbecue. So I planned on bringing my barbecue from home too. They said I was allowed to have a full-size barbecue here. So as my friend came over and we were disassembling everything. Oh, somebody sent, Debbie, thank you so much. Thank you for the super chat tip. Thank you. So I had to break down the barbecue to fit in the car, and I had been moving so much stuff out to the road for donations that when I put the barbecue out to the road, but not next to the donation piles, just to where my friend was going to put it in her car, and we went back to the backyard to get the fire pit out, and someone stole the barbecue. Anyway, I ended up getting a small portable barbecue, which will be more appropriate for travel when I start traveling with the RV, but it would have been nice to use my barbecue that I didn't have to pay for. But anyway, whatever. Everything happens for a reason. Someone needed it more than I did. That's all I have to say about that. Thank you, Nancy. You know what's really great about this space is that I'm facing east-west right here. So in the morning, the shed is giving me shade here. And then oh, I didn't tell you. Can you guys hear the birds too, by the way? Can you hear the birds? This is why I have so many birds here. Can you even see the scale? I'm gonna have to back up so you can see these trees. So behind my fence, look at the size of these trees. Like, they've got to be 60 feet. They've got to be. They're amazing. And so come 2, 3 o'clock, they start, maybe not 2 o'clock, 3, 4 o'clock, let's say, they start casting shade back here too. But it's still hot sun, full sun in the middle of the day, but I get shade in the morning and I get shade in the afternoon. And with shade, it is pretty nice out here. Somebody said they wanted to know about mosquitoes. Yes, I'm going to have to figure out some. Obviously, I have no screen enclosure. I have no roof over me. I am literally outside. So, yeah, I do have my fire pit, which is great for a table. I did get a cover for it yesterday because I realized that now it's totally outside. It needs to be covered to protect it, but that wasn't much money either. Like, I'm learning, I'm not in a lanai anymore, so there's a lot of things to learn about that too. There's so many things to learn about everything in an RV. Learning about how to plug everything in and use everything. Like, I'm learning so much. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh, I'm gonna get some citronella candles from Walmart. They have those great big bucket ones that are super cheap. I am gonna look into a bug zapper. There is one that emits carbon dioxide, I believe, that's supposed to be a really natural way to keep the mosquitoes away if I need it. But I'm gonna start with citronella candles and, go from there. Just go from there. But I have my studio set up in the dinette area of the RV, and I was able to get high-speed Wi-Fi here because I have an address, so when I travel I won't have it, but at least while I'm stationary here, I have high-speed internet just like I did at my home and my home office, which is amazing for doing videos. And the only problem is the air conditioning is so loud in there that unless I do videos early morning or early evening, I have to adjust the temperature and work in very high heat, but I'm working on it. Yeah, lemongrass and citronella plants will help too. I've thought about that. I'm on a really tight budget with the garden, so I'm not buying any more plants right now. I'm only going to make plants from food scraps, but yes, those are all great ideas. Yep, I've read that tea tree oil does too, and I will talk more about that as I explore and figure out what budget-friendly things make sense for me. Bought a little pop-up tent. Yeah, that's an idea too. Thanks, Thea. Hi, Edna. Yes, this is a brand new pattern that I just released today. This is the Isabella poncho for somebody that was asking just now. And it is a poncho. Oh, do you hear the birds? Aren't they beautiful? The birds sing here all day long. It's so pretty. So this poncho starts as a top-down triangular shawl, and then it gets decreased triangles added to it to turn a triangle into a rectangle. So here is an example of what it looks like as a shawl only, and also what it would look like with multiple colors or as a stash buster. And then this is what this stitch pattern looks like in a solid color, and this is what the stitch pattern looks like in multicolors. Marlon's doing pretty good. He's having to go through some transitions right now too, and I'm not ready to talk about all of that right now. There's just so much going on. As you know, rent is extremely expensive everywhere, and Marlon and Jess are now having trouble finding their own rental and apartment. So we are open to receiving miracles, and we're staying positive, and we're staying together, and just hugging each other and supporting each other all through our transitions right now. And I'm super excited to get my kitchen set up again so I can make my son a meal. That may sound really trivial, but I feel like making food is one of the ways that I show love, and I've been really missing that. So I'm excited to get my new barbecue set up. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you. It's so easy and so beautiful. Yeah, housing and rent prices are ridiculous right now. And yeah, so Marlon is in flux right now, and I don't have any answers about what's going on. So until I have an answer, he's kind of in limbo right now. So just praying that everything works out the way it's supposed to for him. And he and Jess are supporting each other, and I'm supporting them, and they're supporting me. And we just love each other so much, and that's all we can do right now. Yeah, and I gotta start cooking for my boy. So I got a different kind of barbecue this time. I got the flat top grill that everybody's talking about lately, and I thought it was gonna be so much fun for doing hibachi style, like stir fry stuff, and doing all sorts of things, including barbecuing, and to be able to cook outside so I don't get all the smell inside the RV. I think that's gonna be awesome. And Marlon's request is to do cheesesteaks on it on the griddle first, so we'll see. Yes, there's essential oils that can be used. The weight on the yarn for the poncho is number 3 DK weight. And I did it in Be So Baby yarn, but if you go to the links that Judy's provided and the links that will be in the video description, it tells you all about what weight yarn I used, how much yarn I used, and it also gives you some suggestions for other yarns that are comparable fiber, weight, drape, and weight. Okay? Yeah, all you have to do is follow the links. All the information that you're looking for on the pattern and yarn substitution will be there. All right. And I am in North Naples. I'm in North Naples. I'm actually in a retirement community. It's a 55 and older community, but they have a rule, I don't know if it's just here in Florida, that as long as 80% of the people in the community are over 55, they will allow 20% of the residents to be over 45. So I'm in a retirement community. Hopefully that means it's quiet and peaceful, but we shall see. Thank you, Jill. I think it's going to be fun to do some videos on cooking for small, cooking for 1, cooking for 2, cooking like camping style cooking, and just simple stuff. So I think it's going to be really fun to show you that you can still eat healthy and still eat delicious food, even when you're trying to keep things simple and doing small portions. So I've got lots of ideas, and I'm really excited to show them to you when I'm set up and when I'm ready to do that. Before we even do a quote, who misses doing our 30-second closing our eyes? I know I've been doing it on and off, but I thought you might enjoy doing it with me again. So if you trust me, just close your eyes and I will let you know when the 30 seconds is up. So this is a great way to give your eyes and your brain a break. You can do this anytime throughout the day, and it really does help give you a little boost of refreshment throughout the day. So let's close our eyes. Listen to the birds and the sounds, and I'll count for 30 seconds, give or take, and I'll let you know when I open my eyes back up. Starting now. Okay, I counted to 35 just to be sure that I padded a little bit, because I don't know if I count too fast in my head. I know I count a little faster than seconds. So anyway, I hope you felt a little refreshed by that. I know I do. And how beautiful is it to listen to the birds? I feel like when you close your eyes, you can listen to the birds better. It's so nice. All right, and how about we randomly choose a quote for today? And let's find something. So it's with all retirement communities. Okay, cool. This is a nice one. This is from Create, Share, Inspire Notebook, Volume 1, Issue 1. This is from Abraham Lincoln. Everybody loves a compliment. You know I love this one. It's so much fun to give random people compliments, but it's fun to give people that you know compliments, especially when they don't expect it. I love doing that. I love paying people compliments, especially when they don't see it coming, which applies to strangers too, because they definitely don't see it coming. It's just nice to put smiles on people's faces. There's so many reasons why we don't smile very often, right? There's so much negativity in the world, but when you can pay it forward a little bit. I do believe that ripple effect makes a difference. I think it makes you feel better as a person when you've done something nice for someone else. And I think the ripple effect, you don't know what you're changing in someone else's life when you're kind to them. So yes, everybody loves a compliment, even if they're not, and don't forget, they may not react the way you want them to react. They may not give you the gratitude for doing it, and that's okay too, because they could be caught off guard. Just remember, being that, putting the positivity forward, it doesn't come with a direct reward. Sometimes the reward is indirect, and that's okay too. So thank you, Abraham Lincoln. Yes, whether they act like it or not, everybody loves a compliment. Thank you all so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend a few minutes here with me. I hope you enjoyed my new garden studio, my brand new pattern, the Isabella poncho and shawl. You can make one or both from the very same pattern. I will have tutorial videos coming for it soon. Let us make time, and the pattern is available now. Let us make time to create, share, and inspire today and every day. Have a wonderful day, everybody, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Kristin Omdahl Show. Bye-bye.